This is not a video I ever expected to make, and I take no joy in making it. My plan this cycle has been to continue to tell the truth about Congressman Tony Gonzales and his voting record, how he continues to vote against the Constitution during his time in office. However, in the last few days, the case that I'm about to discuss has become the subject of national debate. And so I feel like I have an obligation to provide the most accurate details possible. I would have never expected in a million years to have to tell the story that I'm about to tell, nor would I ever consider it appropriate if this were mere conjecture. But at this point, these are no longer allegations. This has now been proven beyond a shadow of a doubt to be true, and the truth must be told. The voters have a right to know. And
dude, this shit's just like all over the place. What is happening in the United States, man?
That's why, for the sake of the district, the party, and the country, Tony Gonzales should step down. I'll start from the beginning. Regina Santos-Aviles was a regional director for Texas 23rd Congressional District, Congressman Tony Gonzales. She was originally from Uvalde and had served prior running the Uvalde Chamber of Commerce.
Uvalde, why does that sound familiar? Was there a shooting or something that went on there?
From everyone that I've spoken to and from every account that I've been able to find, she was beloved by the community, took great pride in her work. She joined Tony's staff in November of 2021 and dedicated the rest of her life to serving the district, including her hometown of Uvalde, with various issues that the district was facing. But on September 13th, 2025, first responders were called to her home after an alleged suicide via self-immolation, where she was declared dead the next day from her injuries. She left behind her husband and an 8-year-old son. Several days after the fact, when asked, Tony said that he was, quote, heart-stricken at the news of her passing. He did not attend the funeral. Immediately after, a multitude of media sources, such as Current Revolt, asked a number of questions, including whether or not Tony and Regina were involved in a romantic relationship. Tony Gonzales' office responded to every inquiry except the latter. All records were then sealed by Uvalde PD, from the police reports to the autopsy to any mention of Regina and Tony. This fed speculation, and multiple publications started reporting on the alleged affair between Tony and Regina. This would be a bombshell, as Tony is a married man with 6 children and often uses his appearance as a family man.
He just don't stop, man. Maybe she ran out of children to give, so he's like, all right, I gotta find a new bitch. Start popping out babies.
For his public image. It would
also just be a Muslim.
Completely against House ethics rules, subject to an investigation and penalties. Tony, of course, avoided any public scrutiny, including running away from multiple reporters.
Multiple media outlets have reported that you had an affair with Regina Santos-Aviles. Is there any response you have to that?
We're here at Fort Sam. We're here at Fort Sam here at the ceremony. Please have some respect.
I understand, but veterans fought for my right to ask you questions.
Hey, how are you doing?
He also canceled all media appearances and banned journalists and reporters from any of his future events. All of this came to a head a few months later, where for the first time, after no hard evidence had come out, Tony officially denied the affair.
The rumors are completely untruthful. I also say, I don't know exactly what happened.
Which, as we will soon find out, was a complete bold-faced lie.
Well, they all lie, and I mean, like, why wouldn't you if you get caught doing some crazy shit?
But at this point, with no concrete evidence and an official denial of the affair, the story more or less died for a couple of months. That was at least until early February, where a former Tony staffer from Uvalde who worked hand in hand with Regina for 2 years for the congressman decided to risk potential repercussions and come forward. Not only did he have his personal account of Regina telling about the affair with Tony, but he also brought forward screenshots of Regina admitting to the affair, specifically texting the staffer, and I quote, "I had an affair with our boss," obviously referencing Tony. He even told about the facilitation of his family cabin for Tony, which he only later found out was used for extramarital activities. After this news started,
that's a way to put it.
Tony continued to double down and deny any wrong.
He was doubling down on her, if you know what I mean.